Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to be showing you an example of a post-PhD CV. This is to give you some layout and inspiration for if you were to create a CV for applying for a job in academia. So CV means curriculum vitae, and in Latin this means the course of one's life. You don't want to list every single thing you've done in your life, but in general a CV for a job in industry might be 1 to 2 pages. However, in academia, you are regularly, or a lot of people would go up to 3 pages. However, I have heard of people doing like up to 20 pages, more than 20 pages, just because they've wanted to list all their publications. This CV here is 3 pages. So I've written my name at the top. I've omitted some details just for data privacy. Then I've got these little logos which I designed using Adobe Illustrator. So there's a little house, and then I've got my home address, then I've got a phone for my mobile, and a sort of mouse clicker for my email address. And then this CV is for a job which I applied for about 6 months ago. So I was working with Year 6 pupils, which in England means primary school aged pupils aged 10 to 11 years old, and the job role was doing interviews and focus groups with pupils, parents and school staff, looking at how coronavirus had impacted their levels of physical activity. Okay, so for this objective I have personalised that to this specific job role. So I've included that I actually have experience working with a similar sort of age group of adolescents. I've included the job title and the university name as well as funding for the project, just to make sure that's all personalised and they don't think I'm just firing off CVs to everyone and not doing anything. And then I've also, my professional profile here has been personalised. So this will be from me looking at the job description. I've seen what they needed, and so maybe they included I had to have good written and verbal communication skills, and I've worked with academia, industry and school staff stakeholders, and also I have experience using the NVivo software with this particular method of thematic analysis. So I've included all of that just to make it really job specific. And then towards the bottom of this page I have listed my education. So I've written down which university I was at, and the title of my PhD is here. So making vegetables desirable and improving the eating habits of Wales' younger generation. Then I've included the research methodology and bits that were involved in that. So observations, focus groups with different samples, semi-structured interviews, participatory design research, score mining of data, thematic analysis and report writing. So for the Masters I have included what degree it was, so it was a marketing degree and I got a distinction, and then I've also written down the modules. Same thing for the product design, I haven't included the modules because that's not really relevant. And then maybe you don't include your A-levels, particularly for me because it was 10 years ago, but then because this is sort of like social sciences, and a lot of the jobs I was applying for were social sciences, I thought it was good to include this psychology A-level being A star. And then on the second page I've got my publications. So at the moment I have 3 papers that have been published. This middle one is actually a academic conference paper, but these other 2 are in proper journals. And then I'm currently co-authoring a paper. I've blanked this out. And then I kind of hope by the end of 2022 I will have 2 or 3 more papers published. And then you want to include your further skills. So during the PhD I did these Microsoft Office specialised certified courses for PowerPoint and Excel. That was a free course that the university was running. It took quite a long time, but I think it's good because it kind of shows that you can use these programs. Yeah, so IT proficiency is there. And then underneath that I have got my employment history. So I worked as an academic associate service provider for the university after doing the PhD. So I did 3 different jobs for them. So I've got those bullet pointed. Then I had a cleaning job. This is very much like sort of skimming over. You don't want to include loads of details, particularly if these aren't relevant, but it shows that you have had a history of work, which shows that you are able to turn up on time, deal with responsibility and other things like that. So I had a cleaning role for 19 months. I've written that down. This is the PhD. There was a sort of working element to that. Then I had a kitchen assistant role, so I include that, and then also housekeeping role. So perhaps for my next role I might actually just take these 2 jobs off, because it was quite a few years ago and it's not really relevant. But yeah, when I was finding my first job in academia, I thought it was good to include these. And then sort of a bit of work experience. So this was during the PhD. I was an academic associate representative, and I've got 2 bullet points explaining what I did there. And then further up, I have got little stars to talk about, sort of to give more detail. So the PhD was funded by Test 2, and then the 2 stars was further up was me talking about the company that I was working with, which I've actually blanked out for this. And then I've got conferences and events. This would be something I would definitely leave off if I was doing a CV for industry, because they don't really care. But for this, I think it's good to show that you've been out and about. So a couple of years ago in the summer, I presented a research paper remotely in Finland. That was a remote conference due to the pandemic. I don't know, I'm quite proud because I won 500 quid for this one. I won a £500 voucher for this one, and I also won £50, I think, for this one. Yeah, so I suppose these are quite good achievements, and then it's just good to show that I was going to these different events, getting out and about with the PhD, and mingling with other people in academia. And then right at the bottom I've got personal details and interests. I think particularly in academia, it's good to mention that you are willing to relocate, because that's a common requirement. It could be anywhere in the UK. And also noting that I've got a driving licence and my own car. That might have been in the job description, so I've made sure to include that. Because I think the job might have been driving out to different schools, so they wanted you to have a licence. Then a little bit about general interests. Horse riding, I suppose, is the main one. And then references available on request, that's right at the end. So I don't include the details from the references. I kind of wait to see if they are requested, so that would be my Director of Studies and my PhD supervisor, who I've spoken to, and they agreed to provide a reference. I wouldn't want to give details straight away, because I don't want them to be pestered from everyone that wants a reference. I want them to come to me, and then I'll give them the details. So I've just got my contact details, a objective, this is bits in italics, and then the professional profile. Then this first page contains all my education. Top of the second page has my publications and some further skills, and then my employment history. And then the third page starts with my work experience, and then moves on to my conferences and events that I've attended. And then at the bottom there's my personal details and interests, as well as a little bit about the references. Yes, I hope this gives you a bit of inspiration. I've kept it all very simple, no fancy fonts or anything like that. I think it really clearly points out things, and I think using bullet points is a really great tool to make sure that you just stick to the vital facts. Okay, so thank you for watching this. I hope you found it interesting. Please give it a thumbs up, and leave in the comments below if you want any more sort of post-PhD careers talk, or if you have any questions about the PhD.